you're struggling to climb to that next rank, you're finding it difficult to train, perhaps you're just feeling a little bit inconsistent. If any of these apply to you, then I've got something for you in this video. In this video, guys, we'll be taking a look at how you can build your consistency, starting all the way from the ground and building it all the way up. People tell you, just play the game. And while that does help, there are certainly ways to focus your training, building that consistency just a little bit faster, and then that'll lead to you ranking up a little bit faster as well. All of these methods are tried and tested by me. They helped me climb that mountain to SSL, so I just wanted to share some of the knowledge which I was able to pick up along the way. Alright guys, we'll start this off by breaking it down into tiers. So first we'll start with bronze to gold, platinum to diamond, champion 1 to grand champion 1, grand champion 1 to grand champion 3, and then finally we'll talk a little bit about SSL. So, if you're currently anywhere between bronze and gold and fall under this category, let's drive through what's right for you. At this level, you're probably starting to grasp your fundamentals, but they're still pretty shaky at times. I'll bet a dime that the majority of the people at these ranks don't really train consistently or effectively. So, if you start to, you shouldn't have any problem soaring through the ranks and reaching that platinum. For those of you who want to be a cut above the rest and make your way up there, I'd suggest setting aside around 15 minutes before you play to warm up. Train those fundamentals and prepare for your games. Let me stress this. Your fundamentals are the most important things to be consistently training at this rank. Don't bother trying to learn the fancy stuff. This goes for all the other ranks too. Your car control, aerial control, and basic shooting can't ever be trained too much. I've set up a short 15-minute routine that you'll be able to run through to hone those skills. If you nail this before you play, you're going to build up that consistency and earn your spot in platinum. These 3 training packs are only 29 shots in total, so they definitely shouldn't take any longer than 15 minutes. And if you do happen to have some spare time left over, I'd highly recommend you start training your consistency when it comes to dribbling. One of the greatest ways to do this is either just in free play, popping the ball on top of your car and seeing how long you can hold it there, or if you're feeling adventurous, download the workshop dribbling map created by DMC. I'll have that link down in the description, along with the codes for all of the packs that are in this video. Alrighty, moving up the ranks. So, if you're platinum or diamond, you've probably got your fundamentals more or less down, but you're still a little bit inconsistent. One game you might pop off, and the next you'll be questioning everything. At this point, you can probably start to add small additional advanced techniques to your training, while still hammering that essential consistency of the fundamentals. I'd recommend, if you're pushing for champ, taking around maybe 15-25 minutes worth of training before you play. At this rank, I'd say 15 minutes is the absolute minimum you should be spending training. Something important to consider at this rank is whether you're going to focus on getting more consistent or learning new techniques. Whilst it's good to learn new things, keep them to a minimum and focus on perfecting the fundamentals which you've been practicing this whole time. I've seen too many platinums and diamonds placing way too much emphasis on learning how to flip reset, breezy flick, and do all sorts of wacky stuff. So much so that they can't even score an open goal anymore. And I'd bet this is probably something you're complaining about. Instead, I'd say learn these things on the sides. Maybe if you've got a little bit of time left at the end, maybe practice your flip resets or your breezy flick. So, just as before, I've laid out a strong routine which should take you around 20 minutes to complete. That should be enough to start your day off with a few wins. And if you're feeling spicy, as I said before, spend the last 5 practicing something fancy. In terms of training outside of these packs, I'd recommend for perfecting your aerial control, Speed Jump Rings 3 by DMC. That's a super nice map that I still incorporate into my training every day. It's an absolute game changer, and you can download it on the workshop, and I'll have the links to it in the description as well. And at this point, you've probably started to get your dribbling down, maybe just a little bit. So I'd be downloading the Dribbling 2 overhaul map as well, which will once again be in the description. And I doubt you'll be able to complete it. It's pretty hard when you get to the later levels, but just get as far as you can, and just remember where you progress to, and try and progress just a little bit further each time you do it, and that'll get the ball rolling. Moving swiftly on up to the Grand Champion ranks, you guys are pretty much considered the cream of the crop. You excel in most areas, and you're probably starting to feel the most consistent you've ever felt. And this is kind of where things start to get a little bit more difficult too, because the higher you go, the more and more consistent you need to be. It only really takes one script to lose a game at this point. No matter how many goals you have, how much score you have, or how many assists you have, just one single mistake is what stands between you and that sweet MMR. Most people at these ranks probably be hitting up free play before they play, maybe doing a couple of training packs and the occasional run of a workshop map. But it's still not really enough if you want to take your game to the next level. If anything, I'd say consistency matters the most at the top, and that's why I've put together a routine which will take you around 30 minutes to complete. If you fire this out before you play, you'll be on your way to becoming Supersonic Legend. After you've done all of these, you'll probably have a little bit of time left, so I'd head over to the Dribbling Challenge 2 overhaul, which I'd mentioned before. And at this point, I'd say you can probably reach the end, so I'd be pushing that as far as you can. Dribbling at that point is kind of an essential skill, which you need to be, I'd say, extremely consistent at. And also, Speed Jump Trials 1, along with Speed Jump Rings 3, are also really nice accompaniments, which will help you to improve your control overall. And if you finish the rest early, I would just keep on grinding this routine. Just do another pack, run through the speed jump rings again, just train for 30 minutes. It's super important at this point. The more you train before you play, the higher your chance of winning those first few games are, and it's going to set you off for a good day. For those of you who have actually reached the top, and you've found yourself rocking a silver title and that silver emblem, and you can finally say you're SSL, I think you're probably training a solid routine. The only words of wisdom I have for you is don't start slacking. I usually train for around 45 minutes to an hour before I play, cycling through training packs, workshop maps, and free play, and then I'll just rinse and repeat. Being concise and focusing your training is the best way to hit top 100. You know, you can hit maybe 3 shots a game, but if you're training 100 shots in 10 minutes, well, then you're well on your way to the top. However, if you are interested in what I do to train every day, I'll link my training routine down in the description. So anyone who's at SSL rank or just wants to take a gander and just see what kind of routine you would need to do at that rank to build your consistency even further, you're definitely welcome to take a look. Well, I hope this video helped in pushing the importance of consistency and building a routine. Focusing your training and perfecting your craft is much more efficient than just hopping into games. Lack of direction, not lack of time, is a problem. We all have 24 hours a day, and I wish you all the best of luck. If you want to support the channel, guys, please hit that like button and subscribe if you want more content like this. Appreciate it, guys.